Alright folks, here we are, Christmas Eve. We're going to try to make a video. We're going to go right down here and we're going to fish right here in a second. Back here at our same old spot. Spot number one, as we usually call it. Kind of doing a spot check on it today. Spot check on spot number one. Just to see if we got any action out there with the crappie. Again, Christmas Eve, no boats out there. Don't know if anybody's been fishing out there or not. We're going to walk down here and give it a try and see if we can't catch a fish right here. Got a kind of a busy park here this afternoon for some reason. A lot of people coming and going. Everybody's out headed to their destinations today, and for some reason they want to stop off at the park and just sit there in their cars and look around. So anyways, as long as they're up to, you know, they're not up to no good or whatever, I ain't going to worry about it too much. And I got this little pullover in case that wind gets up, but it's about 60 degrees today. So we ain't worried about the wind. There's no wind. About 60, well, it's really about 65. It might even be close to 70 degrees today. Got the sun trying to poke through. It's really kind of perfect conditions when it comes down to it. I don't know that the conditions could be any better temperature wise. Stable conditions. We've had about 2 to 3 days now of really stable conditions. We're going to have 2 or 3 more days of stable conditions. And really, if there's anything the old crappie likes, I think anyways, are stable conditions. And once they get on a pattern, if the conditions don't change too much, they probably won't change that much. But the least little change, it could be a change in the temperature, cold fronts coming through, changes in barometric pressure, things like that will change the crappie. Fluctuating water levels, change in the current, food source, where's the bait fish, those things all affect the behavior of that little fish we call the crappie, or as them guys down in Georgia call them, crappies. Now I can look out here and I can see tons of bait fish in the creek. That's what one of my viewers there, Mike, gave me a tip. He said there's a lot of bait fish in the creeks right now, and I see, boy, they're full. And he said there's just too much competition, you know, too much food for them, and they're not looking for the little jigs, I guess. So anyways, we're going to find out. We're going to get down here. Let's see if we can push on through to the other side. Uh-oh, and not fall down, not get hurt. I guess we'll go start up here. I'm getting choked right now. That bag is choking me to death. Let's walk up under these trees right here because it looks kind of cool. Yeah, they were roughing it out here coming through these trees and stuff. There we go. Let's see what we got here on the bank. Got a footprint there. The water is actually up a little bit today. It's up quite a bit. So there's one of the changing conditions. Maybe that's what we've needed, is for the water to come up. But see, there's a boot print, and I don't think that's mine. It looks a little bit like mine. I don't think it is though. Maybe it was, I don't know, it don't matter. Definitely had some folks out here though. Probably today, probably this morning. Oh, this looks pretty fresh. I say there's been several people out here fishing. Yeah, we've had some human beings out here fishing today. Trying to get in on my little spot here before I get in on it. Well, my goodness. We just have to get out here a little bit earlier. See, one of these days I'm going to trick them. I'm going to get out here at daylight one day and get beyond this spot when they show up, and they're going to go, oh no, he's going to start getting out here at daylight now. This is going to mess us up. But that's probably what's going on. These old fellers are getting out here at daylight. Look at all of the shad out there. I mean, that is a tremendous amount of shad. That seagull, look at that seagull. He's loving every minute of it. All right, we'll throw out here a time or two. So right now, obviously, if the crappie are out here, they're going to be feeding on these shad. I mean, that's just a tremendous amount of bait fish have showed up in this creek since the other day. So I'm going to start off with this little white curly tail, which is going to mimic the shad out here. And if there's any crappie out here, maybe we'll get lucky. Maybe we can pick one up right here. So let's get started. Alright, I'm a little bit more shallow than I usually am. Had this set up for where I was at fishing the last time, and I was gone a little bit more shallow. Usually I'll fish a little deeper right here, but I'm going to go ahead before I go deeper and try it a few times here, because there could be some in here a little more shallow. Sometimes they'll get in here kind of close to the bank. So much bird activity out there. You got to think they got to be feeding a little bit today. Got to be a few of them back in here. No bites yet, so I don't know. Kind of a repeat of last time, really. Just for whatever reason, there just don't seem to be any crappie in here. It don't make any sense, really. Might have to move back down bank into that shallow water and just go way on down there and test that real shallow water out for the heck of it, because I haven't been down there yet. So I'm thinking, while I got this slightly more shallow setup on, I'm just going to walk on down there. Walk down here and check it out in this more shallow water, just for the heck of it. Maybe work my way back up just to do it a little differently, because usually I'll stand up there in that spot, sling it out there for a while, and sometimes after 20 or 30 minutes I might catch one and give me some encouragement to keep fishing. But since it's been like 3 or 4 trips since I've caught anything up there, I don't have much hope in that spot right now. So these little spots are fairly close together, just up and down the bank. It's just little areas where there might be a piece of cover out there that'll hold the fish a little bit more than other areas. And so that's all we're doing, is just looking for, like, could be a little stump, a little pile of rocks, a little something that the crappie will come in there too and just hang out there for a little bit. And usually if you find one of those little spots, if you find a good little spot like that, they'll come into that spot all the time. And that's the case with this little spot down the bank here, but they ain't coming into this spot no more. At least not yet. They may eventually. Just may be that this year's a little bit different, but we're going to try right here. You can see on the bank right here all this stuff, like these rocks. Of course, that's just driftwood there. You see, like this big, there's a golf ball, like this big old cross tie right here. This thing's been laying here for as long as I can remember. So if you got something like this underwater out there, you know, something like that'll hold crappie. So that's what you got out there, little spots with some rocks or an old stump or something like that right there, an old cross tie that'll hold, you know, crappie will kind of relate to. All right, whew, I tell you what, having no luck right here. About to run out of battery juice. I think I'll record this little segment and throw in a new battery. But what I've done is I've gone deep. I got this big long pole. Years ago, I would try to get it as deep as I could go. This is a 9-foot pole. The float is up there at the top of the rod, you see, and this leader comes down all the way down. There's my jig. So you see how deep I am. I'm about as deep as I could go. Now, some years ago, I seemed like I just had better luck the deeper I would go, particularly in this spot. So we haven't been quite this deep for a while. And I just kind of wanted to see if that might make a difference, you know, that this cover that's out here, the crappie relate to it, but it's all right on bottom. You know, it's not like, you know, a brush pile that's sticking up 2 or 3 feet off bottom and they're hanging out above it. It's just like a stump right on bottom or some rocks on bottom. So I think that's why at times going deeper and you just bring it right up above bottom where they're hanging out, and that sometimes I think can make a difference. So anyways, that's what we're going to try. Maybe make a difference, maybe it won't make a difference. I believe this little afternoon party is over here. We had our little Christmas Eve fishing for a couple of hours, but we had no luck. Sun's going down. We're losing our light. Hello, light. And we're going to go home. We're going to get out of here. It's just unfortunate, just no crappie in here. Got all this bait fish. Little bait fish, little bitty, about this 1-inch size bait fish, just plumb packed full of them. But this is about the 3rd trip in a row. I don't know if I've ever had this many trips in a row where I hadn't caught anything out here, so this is a new beginning for this season. Not getting off to a very good start at all. Climb up on these rocks and see if we can skedaddle on out of here. We have to come back another day. Give it a few more days. The problem is we got all this great weather, 60 degrees, 70 degrees tomorrow maybe. And can't catch a fish. I may have to resort to going back to catfishing, get my cast net, and bring it with me next time.